I'm not a fan of Meghan.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan, and I wasn't right from the beginning.
What did you make of
I
what
think
she and Harry said
I think
to
poor
you?
Harry is being led around by his nose, and I think he's an embarrassment.
You know, here's my issue with it. I think that they've quit the country. They've quit royal duty. They're living in luxury in California.
Yeah.
They want to use their royal titles to exploit them for massive financial gain without any of the duty that comes with the royal titles. I don't think you can have your royal cake and eat it. That's my argument about it.
So I want to know what's going to happen when Harry decides he's had enough of being bossed around, or maybe when she decides that she likes some other guy better. I want to know what's going to happen when it ends, okay?
You think it's going to end?
I do. I've been a very good predictor, as you know. I predicted almost everything. It'll end, and it'll end bad. And I wonder if Harry's going to go back on his hands and knees back into the beautiful city of London and say, please, you know, I think Harry has been led down a path.
I found it when I heard he wasn't going to Prince Philip's memorial service.
Terrible.
I found that. I couldn't believe that.
Yeah,
that he would not go to that. He was at the Super Bowl. He was at a Texas rodeo, but he couldn't find time to get on a plane
I think
to
that
Philip's
was a terrible thing. Many terrible things. That might have been, as you mentioned it, that might have been the worst of all. Because he was, you know, like her, he was a tough cookie too. I remember years ago, Prince Philip came to New York, and we were in the Plaza Hotel, and there were many people wanting to meet him, and we were all taking a picture with him, many people, and the photographers said, I'll never forget this. He was tough. The photographer said, please move back. There were like 30 of us. And he said, no, you move back. And that was simple. I said, that's pretty good. You know, this guy's tough. But I'll never forget that. I don't mean that in a derogatory. I mean it in a good way.
Yeah.
Instead of having this whole group of people moving back, plenty of room, the photographer, and he immediately moved back. I said, wow. I mean, the Queen had to be pretty tough because
I think she was,
he was tough.
When he died, I think it was a devastating moment for the Queen.
I think they had a great relationship, but he was a strong guy. I never forget, a little moment, right? He just said, no, you move back. And he didn't say it in a nice way because the photographer was pushing everybody around a little bit foolishly. But I thought it was terrible when he didn't go to the funeral of Prince Philip. Yeah, I think the Harry situation is going to unfold in a much different way. Let's see.
If you were the Queen, is it at the stage now? Would you remove their royal title?
I would. The only thing I disagree with the Queen on, probably one of the only things ever, is that I think she should have said, if that's your choice, fine, but you no longer have titles. You no longer, and frankly. Don't come around. You just, because her loyalty is to the country. She said that many times. Her loyalty is to the country. And I think that he has been so disrespectful to the country, and it's a great country. I own a lot of things there. I own a place called Turnberry.
You do?
And in Aberdeen I own. And I mean, we have, Aberdeen is beautiful, the oil capital of Europe. And I own things there, and I love that country. It's incredible. It's Scotland. I love Turnberry. I love what I did there. I built things there.
It's a great golf course.
And I respect one of the best in the world. And I will tell you, she is more passionate about her role and the country. It's going to be very interesting. Someday she won't be there.
Right.
It'll be very interesting what happens. And I know Charles pretty well. And I think Charles...
And Camilla, I think you sat with her.
I do. And I'll tell you what, she was on my right, the Queen was on my left, and I said, Queen, I really have to talk to Camilla for a little while, too. You know, we couldn't break apart. And I talked to Camilla, and Camilla was so nice. You know, different than I thought. She was funny, she was smart, quick.
I really like her.
She was great. I like her, too. And I like Charles. I mean, he's
serious.
serious.
Do you think they'll make a good king and queen when that time comes?
I hope so. I think it's going to be tricky. He's going to have to be.
Yeah, it is.
You know, it's going to be tricky because they are truly replacing. You talk about a legend. I mean, this woman, she's got to have the all-time record of any country. Is she the
greatest? I mean, in your lifetime, is she the greatest of all the leaders of any kind?
Well, so my mother was born in Scotland, and I remember as a little boy. Anything where the Queen was on, anything at all where, and it was the pomp and ceremony, but my mother had tremendous love and respect for the young Queen at that time.
You would have been a kid when she got coronated, right? in the mid-50s.
But my mother wouldn't leave the screen.
Amazing.
And she'd go back to Scotland almost every year. You know, she loved Scotland. But she loved the Queen. And so does everybody. And for this person to come along and criticize the Queen is just, you just can't do that. So it'll be interesting to see how it all works out. Harry is whipped. Do you know the expression whipped?
I'm familiar with the phrase.
I won't use the full expression. But Harry is whipped like no person I think I've ever seen.
The most whipped man in the world.
I don't know, that's going to be a big one, but he is a whipped man, yeah.